I'm having hysterics. I'm hysterical. I can't stop when I get like this. I can't stop. I'm hysterical. I'm wet. I'm wet. I'm hysterical and I'm wet. I'm in pain and I'm wet. And I'm still hysterical.
Junk food supper.
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 Junk food
Junk
supper.
food supper.
Junk food supper.
Junk food supper.
Junk food supper.
Junk food supper. Junk food
Welcome
supper.
to Junk Food Supper. This is the podcast where every week, pretty much, we get together. We talk about movies that you can find in Japan more often than not. Sometimes you can find those movies in the 90s. Still other times, though, you can find them in like the 50s or 60s in New York on Broadway. I am Parker, a Music League champion, first place champion.
Oh, wow. Congrats.
Thank you. And I am here with Sean. Sean, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. You know what? I didn't know that kids still played Music League. That's interesting to hear. That's still going on. Wow.
Yeah. There's a little league that some of the kids put together in the Discord. Just
It's
for
like
fun.
a T-ball situation.
Yeah, just like a real minor league situation. I think there's like 7 or 8 people in the league, but
It's a coach pitch scenario.
yeah, but I pulled out the win. I'm very excited.
Okay. Tell me some of the tracks that brought you this victory. What were the hot tracks on a Bowman's submission playlist?
That is a great question. Let me just open it up and I'll share that information with you. I'm like a fish. I have no memory for really anything whatsoever.
Just swimming through life?
Can you not look at your past leagues?
No, you can never look at your past leagues. Of course you can look at your past.
There we
It's like at the bottom of the thing.
Okay, I found it.
I thought you were good at clicking buttons.
I'm pretty good at it. Let's see. For the covers round, me personally, I picked Drug Church doing Someday I Suppose. That one actually didn't do me too well. I got 0 votes that round. Actually, I don't know why I bring that one up.
I don't know what any of those words mean in that combination.
Drug Church did a Mighty Mighty Boss Tones cover. I know you know them. You're from
Oh.
Austin, Massachusetts.
Oh, yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah, it was they're like a hardcore band, like a post-hardcore band doing a ska cover. That's great. Let's see. I did for Hanna-Barbera round, where you pick a new theme song for a Hanna-Barbera show. I got a couple of points here from picking Hair by the Dickies. I thought that it would be a good theme for the Hair Bear Bunch.
Okay. And you didn't pick Magilla Gorilla?
No, he's got less hair than the Hair Bear Bunch.
Yeah, I know, but you could find another song. The most important thing is that Magilla Gorilla is represented.
Well, that's true. For 60s round, I picked Space Odyssey by David Bowie, a classic jam.
Okay. Also could have picked it for the Jetsons.
That's also probably true. For Girl Power Week or round, I picked Less Teeth, More Tits by the Lunatics, a classic jam. I got 6 points for that one. What a
Those girls
banger.
are crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
So, yeah, it was
No
a fun
Guar.
game.
Did you make it through the entire round with a Guarless, or was Travis involved?
Travis was in there. I am
Okay, so he had it
pretty
covered.
sure there was a Guar song at some point.
I
mean,
would
there
have
always
to
is.
imagine mathematically.
Yeah, I don't think there's ever not been a Guar song in any of the music leagues. But I forget which one it was.
All right. Well, how do you plan to celebrate your big victory?
By going to Joshua Tree this weekend.
Oh,
Next weekend. I guess I'm
all
going
right.
next weekend, not this weekend. Oh, wait, no, it is this weekend.
I think it's pretty much this weekend. Unless by this weekend you mean the weekend that happened like a couple days ago. It's not that weekend.
Yeah, I'm there currently as everybody hears this. So
Well, that's confusing.
it's like time travel. It's weird.
I thought you were up there in the 559. Come to learn, now you're in Joshua Tree.
Yep. It's my favorite place.
And you're seeing what, Roger Clyne and the Peacemakers?
Well, usually that would be the case. They play there like every fall, and I'm always there for that. But now I'm going to go see Less Than Jake, celebrating all the points I got from ska picks by seeing a ska band.
Now, are you above showing them your Music League results on your phone? You know, if you were to run into the band members, you know, maybe before the show, after the show at a, local taco truck or something, are you showing them your app or what?
Of course. I mean, I don't know what else I would. I mean, like, if you're trying to break the ice with people whose music you would enjoy, of course, that's your go-to. Hey guys, I just won Music League.
And you're not at all embarrassed by your low ratio of wins compared to the volume of games that you've played.
Well, I mean, it's not like, I guess it's pretty low. I wonder what the average is. I think I've got like 1 first place win and like maybe 2 second place and 2 third places. I wonder what the average is. You know? Like
yeah, they should have like global leaderboards and stuff like this, or like song stats. I guess that would kind of ruin the fun of it if you could look up a song and see how well it typically performs in leagues. But I would love to know, like, oh, this batch of songs are especially good in Music League versus other songs.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all dependent on what your circle of friends is or whoever's in your league. So, knowing that wouldn't necessarily mean anything for yours, but
yeah.
I don't know,
and the category.
Curious.
I've seen some songs do really well in some music leagues that tank in other music leagues because of the category.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. It's all about context in Music League.
Yeah. Well, you've participated in many less leagues than I have, but you have 4 first place wins, 1 second place, and 2 third places. So I have more second place wins than you, so I'm like we're kind of like the same, I would think.
How many first place you got?
Just 1.
Oh, okay. All right.
But if you're counting the second place ones that I have, like it kind of averages out.
I feel like I should just continue to enjoy my retirement while I'm ahead then.
Let's see what Chalky's got. Chalky's a 2, 3, and 3 man. That's pretty good. That's respectable.
It's also not fair when you're a guy like me who created the music leagues that he's participating in. I mean, some of these categories I came up with are just for me, you know?
That's true. You do. And also you like change the rules. Like,
oh yeah. I do all kinds of stuff like that. I exploit flaws I've found in the voting system.
Yeah. Yep.
I think that still is a bug, that you can change the number of upvotes and downvotes mid-round. And so if you know what you're doing and you play your cards right doing that, you can really kind of swing things.
I've noticed. We all know what you're doing over there.
Yeah, so let's put a big asterisk next to all of these gold stars on my profile.
Yeah, let's see where Kevin's at. Kevin's a 4, 5, and 3 man out of only 16 leagues. This man.
Oh yeah,
he
quality.
Don't miss.
That's why they call him Quality Kevin.
That is an incredible amount. He is placed in 12 out of 16 leagues. This man don't miss.
Yeah, I mean he's got the credentials. Man ran a record store. You know, he's been in a band.
That's true.
I mean, that's 2 better than us.
Yeah, Justin has been in 34 leagues. He's got an interesting record here. 3, 4, and 14. A lot of third places for Justin.
You never were in a band, right, Bowman?
I was in a band for like 2 days. We practiced like 3 times and then gave up.
How old is a Bowman in a band?
We were in high school.
Okay, just a baby boy Bowman.
Just a young man. It was me, my friend Jono. He was playing guitar. Our friend David was the drummer.
Yeah.
I don't think we had a bassist, and I was the singer. Although I didn't sing. I did like this kind of like croony sort of like Dead Milkmen sort of talky crooner sort of a thing.
Okay. All right. And the name of the outfit?
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know if we had one.
No, come on.
think we
You're
were still
afraid that
binge-
I'm going to look you up on Discogs and find your basement tapes.
Yeah, I think we're on what's that website that lists like all the metal bands of all time, and we're on there probably.
Encyclopedia Metallum or whatever.
Yeah. I bet we're on there probably.
I was very briefly in a band, again, probably like early high school, maybe even like last year of junior high, with a couple of friends. This one friend, Chris Humphreys, this other kid, Ryan, whose last name I don't even remember. But I banged the pots and pans. I had no skill at it. I think we thought maybe that didn't matter, but it turned out it did matter, that nobody wanted to hear just people with no skill just randomly banging on things. But we were called Nuclear Scooby. And we covered a couple Doors songs. It only lasted like a week, though.
Before you got that cease and desist from Hanna-Barbera?
Yeah, them and the estate of Jim Morrison. They said, somehow you actually made this music worse. We didn't think it was possible, but...
I was in a Doors tribute band one time called Crystal Shit.
Okay.
That's not true. That's just a Dead Milkman reference.
Oh, damn.
But it would be a good name for a band.
Yeah, it's better than the shitty Beatles.
That's true.
Well, speaking of names of things, the name of the AEW pay-per-view that I watched this weekend, because I know you were going to get around to asking what else I did this weekend, was AEW Dynasty.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought it was a very good pay-per-view. It was, I think, like 5.5 hours long, but I enjoyed myself. Did you catch this AEW pay-per-view? I
did not. No, I saw some of the highlights and stuff on the Twitter and on Facebook and stuff like that. I probably should have watched it. I don't know. The WWE network made me so cheap about buying pay-per-views, which they totally ruined the market with that shit.
Yeah. What was the price on that?
Well, that was only $9.99 a month, I believe.
No, okay. Well, I can't compete with that. But let me ask you this. What price would you be willing to pay for all-in access to a wrestling promotion's pay-per-view content and TV content?
I would... Oh, and the TV content?
Yeah, you get all the TV content with no commercial breaks, and you get the pay-per-views, and you maybe get some sister company stuff as well.
I would pay something like $25 for that. 30 maybe.
Good news, you only have to pay $20 a month. Get my AEW.
Is that like now? Is that what you used to watch it?
That's what I used. Yeah, that's what I used yesterday. It was great. You do need to get a VPN because it's not technically offered in the US, but it turns out you can get a VPN for $1 a month, and that's what I did.
I might have to do that then. That sounds like a great deal.
It's a pretty good deal when the alternative is HBO, fucking up my HDR stream last time and charging me twice as much.
Yeah. Who needs that? But how was the show then? Was it good? Was it worth your $21?
Yeah. I thought, like I said, 5.5 hours. So, that's like a ton of content in my view. And almost all of it was great. Even the Jericho match was good. I don't really like Jericho. I haven't really, honestly, ever really liked him, but especially in recent years, it does feel like it's time for Dude to wrap it up. But he came back after a bit of a hiatus and had the juice in his match with Ricochet, put on a pretty good show.
Yeah, I love Jericho. Jericho's ECW, I was never a WCW guy, but he's one of the guys I would flip over for, to look and see what he was up to.
Yeah.
And some of, all of his WWE stuff is great. He's a little bit whack now, but yeah, he's wonderful. I saw that clip of him give the code breaker to Ricochet, who was doing a 450 splash or something like that. And that's one of the more damnedest things I've seen.
Great timing. Yeah, it was really good timing. There's a bump that Jericho took on the apron. I don't remember if he was getting like suplexed or just like backdropped, but the net of it is he's coming down on the outside of the ropes, you know, on the ring apron corner from a really high angle and just crushes it with his spine, like right on the corner of the apron before bailing to the outside. And it was like, even for a young guy, like a really gnarly looking spot, but he took it and kept going, you know, for at least 10 minutes after that.
He's an intense guy.
Yeah, so kudos to Jericho, I guess, you know, it's probably going to be his retirement tour, I would guess, but it's off to a strong start.
Yeah, he's a pretty old dude.
Yeah.
And once he retires, he can do the Terrifier movies full time.
Oh, has he been involved with those? I actually didn't even know that.
He's in at least one of them. He might be in two of them. He's got like a small part.
Okay. Anything to keep him away from the world of music, dude. I mean, have you seen these music videos where he's floating around in space, like, you know, with projections of his own face behind him and all kinds of nonsense?
I've not seen that. I've not really listened to any of his music. I was like tempted to go to one of his shows. He played up here at like kind of a small club somewhat recently, but I couldn't bring myself to do it. I know his music's going to be pretty bad.
Yeah, it's kind of whack.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
What else happened at the show? What else was fun?
They did one of those casino gauntlet matches, you know, which I actually really liked those. It might have been maybe my favorite match of the night. I mean, it's one of those things where it is just an excuse to get a bunch of guys out there to all do their spot real quick. But everybody got out there. Everybody did their spot. They all kind of nailed it. And it was just really well paced and a lot of fun. And they had, you know, those, you know, rapid fire series of false finishes and, you know, near falls and stuff where, you know, each one is broken up by a new successive guy who then gets to land his spot. Had a lot of fun with that.
Yeah. Those big chaotic matches are always fun.
Yeah. You got Tommaso Ciampa now in AEW, who I never really took note of when he was in NXT, but dude's pretty intense, and I feel like he's a good addition to the AEW roster.
I like his beard.
Yeah, he's got the killer beard. He's got that theme song that's very hummable, so I think everybody likes that.
Yeah. That's really like the one way you like that you can tell a wrestler's, or I don't even know if it equates to popularity necessarily, but like if you have a good theme song, like that's like kind of all you need in wrestling now. Like one of those theme songs that like people can like either sing or hum like after they cut off the music. Like I feel like that puts you on like Hulk Hogan level of popularity if you have one of those theme songs.
It was pretty funny though at the show last night. I'm watching Ciampa's entrance, and you know his song. It starts out with just this kind of vocal part where he goes like something like that, and right after that, some dude in the audience, probably sitting right behind the announce booth, shouts out, "Well, it's the big show," and it was just like perfectly timed. And nailed the fact that, like, oh, yeah, that does kind of sound like the intro to the Big Show's Titantron. And that guy, he had some other zinger, like, during somebody else's intro where he did a similar thing. But I love those guys that are in the crowds at wrestling events that are in proximity to the mic and actually have, like, the good zinger. Because usually it's just nonsense, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I like that. Good for that guy. That guy's the MVP of the show.
Yeah, he was definitely my hero, keeping me going on an, you know, debatably overlong pay-per-view.
Yeah, that seems like it's a long pay-per-view.
Yeah. Is that what's keeping you out of watching AEW? Is the overall time commitment that you feel like you would have to extend?
I mean, that is part of it. Like, I feel like, give me like 2.5 hours or 3 hours. Like, you know, like, I mean, I'm one of these old men that liked ECW in the Attitude Era. And like in 2.5 hours or so, like they would pack in like 13 matches and you would get like a lot of craziness. these shows where it's like 5 hours long and there's 6 matches. It's like, I don't have time for that in life.
Yeah. Well, and it's especially tricky because it's not the thing that they do, I think, a lot of times in Japan, where it's like the card's 3 hours long, but only the last 2 matches are even worth watching. And so you can just skip all the rest of this. It's just young guys kind of, getting their practice rounds in, or people, maybe building towards a feud, but they're not going to go all out. But those last couple matches will go all out. That's not the case with AEW. It's like from the first match on the pre-show, like people are just like juicing like nuts and, going wild.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
So
now, speaking of juicing,
yeah, okay, yeah. You want to talk Welches?
What did you think about Mr. John Moxley and Will Ospreay? What about that match? How many stars and popcorns do you give that one?
I enjoyed the match. I don't know that I would give it any popcorns. I don't remember how many stars I gave it, but it was probably in a four-ish range. It's a very good match.
Okay, now I've got this hot take for you.
Yeah.
I hate Will Ospreay.
Because of his silly haircuts.
British. I don't care for that.
Yeah, he's the most British. Everybody to him is a bruv,
Yeah. But more importantly,
you don't like the flippy shit.
I'm not really. If it looks a little too choreographed, like if it looks like you're doing a flip just to do a flip rather than you're doing a flip to hurt a guy, I don't like that. And he's full of that stuff.
Yeah.
But more importantly, if you take somebody's finishing move or something like that, you should like sell it, right? Like I hate this indie shit where like dudes will take like a Canadian destroyer and then counter it with a fucking a super kick. It's like, take the fucking move, dude. Like lay down on the ground after getting hit with a crazy ass move. And Will Ospreay just does not subscribe to that. He goes, "Oh, you hit me with a Canadian destroyer. Here's a tombstone pile driver." Like you mean, and it's like, what are we even doing at this point?
Well, I mean, on one hand, we're arguing for these shows to be shorter, and on the other hand, we want them to start selling for extended periods. Like every match going to be an hour long now. If they sold the amount that was correct for these devastating maneuvers that they're constantly hurling at each other. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, I guess the fix for that is to just do less finishing moves. You don't need to do 17 pile drivers in a match.
Well, there is certainly like a happy balance. And one of the things that kills me, like more so than the overuse of flippy stuff, which I think is a problem. Like overuse of flippy stuff is a big problem, especially because it kind of like damages the specialness of it. Like if every match has a guy doing like a tope suicida or whatever, then it doesn't mean anything. It was cool when only one dude in the division could even do that, But the thing that hates me is like this kind of akin to selling is kind of like the opposite of where it goes overboard, where you got guys clearly like posted up in a very specific position waiting for a maneuver, where it's like, well, I guess I have to be seated on the top rope for 15 seconds while guy, gets ready and, ties his shoelaces so that he can do like a quadruple super kick from the opposing rope or whatever. And I hate that. Like, that's the choreographed stuff I hate, is like dude just sitting and waiting for a move, that's clearly going to be delivered because of the unnatural position that he's in. There was some actually good work, I thought, with Tommaso Ciampa and Roosh to kind of counteract that. I saw them doing a lot of things where they were like smartly setting up things and kind of like transitioning between moves in a way that felt plausible. But I think that's a lot of times kind of gone by the wayside,
Yeah, for sure. I see a lot of dudes like, you see this a lot in like WWE, where like someone will be on like the top of a cage or whatever, and then they like wait patiently for all the 7 other people to like get into a single file line to make their way to where they are so that they can all be in, hit their marks to catch that person, and then fail miserably at catching that person.
I mean, the 619 is kind of a classic example of like, dude has to be kind of splayed out across the middle rope, in a completely unnatural way that nobody would ever like lay like that for more than a second. But because Rey Mysterio's got to deliver this move, he's going to lay like that, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. But
And
yeah,
there's a way to do it right where like you put effort into making it look like I've properly stunned this guy, you know, but I think sometimes you might see a guy develop a move and do that at first, and then later he's just like, okay, it's time for my spot, and he's going to lay down for me, and none of this is going to look real.
Yeah. I think with Rey Mysterio, it's like he always sets it up with like that drop toe hold or whatever, which is like the kind of move that a dude who's 4'2" should be doing. So like it kind of makes sense.
Yeah, but does it make sense that his opponents would invariably have the exact same reaction every time that drop toe hold is administered, that they'll be frozen for 30 plus seconds or whatever?
Well, no. But that's the magic of art, you know. You care so much about Rey Mysterio that you believe what's happening.
I'm shocked that move is still in such heavy use after it killed a man, but I guess that's something else.
Yeah. Well, I think pretty much any wrestling move could kill a guy.
Yeah, fair enough.
Except for the flippy shit. That ain't hurting nobody.
Well, but a lot of like broken thumbs and stuff like this, you know what I mean? Or even like broken noses. I think maybe Daniel Garcia got a broken nose in the match, in that gauntlet match last night, because somebody did some flippy shit that caught him with an elbow to the face.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I guess that could happen.
Those moves a lot of times are like devastating in a way that doesn't even look devastating. You know what I mean? Because like the focus of what's happening isn't even the thing that hurt the guy. It's just like, oh shit, you know, there was an errant, you know, elbow that just clipped somebody. You don't really even see it because that's not what they're trying to do or even sell. But now suddenly dude's nose is broken.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, that was my big weekend, was watching AEW Dynasty. And I think it is time for you to get on board, even if you're not into this flippy shit.
I should get on board. There's a lot of AEW folks I like. Ironically, I like that Ricochet, even though he does the most flippy shit. But
yeah, he's flipping at a rate that even he maybe has never flipped before. Dude's doing some flips.
That's true. But mostly what I like about him is that he gets on Twitter and tells people on Twitter that he's happy that they have terminal diseases. And like that's like the coolest heel shit in the world. Like, I don't understand like why people get mad at him for that. Like,
I was a little bit surprised at the backlash. Yeah, I don't know. I guess this is tricky because I don't want to offend any of our listeners either. But I guess we live in a different time where people are, you know, a little more sensitive, Bowman, about the terminal diseases that they may have.
Well, yeah, that's true. But I don't like, if it was MJF, people would eat it. They'd be like seal clapping. Or if it was Dominic Mysterio or somebody like this, but it's Ricochet and people are like, I don't know about this.
Yeah. Well, I guess he's not that type of a heel. You know, they just want to call him bald and laugh at him.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe he's not evil enough. But yeah, I'll get the next one. I'll get the next one. We'll talk about it. We'll watch it.
All right. I mean, also you can get these at no expense to you, you know, in the right channels online if you wait 24 hours or whatever.
Is that? Oh yeah. But, well, I'm way out of the loop. I used to use the ICE films to pirate everything. And then when that went away, I was just like, well, I guess I'll never pirate anything ever again. I don't know where else to go. So if anybody out there, you, Sean, you get info on this stuff,
no,
send
it
it my
wouldn't be
way.
me, because I mean, I'm paying $20, but you know, maybe I'll find you a friend.
Okay. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how any of the pirating works anymore. The only stuff I know how to pirate now is like Jim Wynorski movies. If you need to download 70 Jim Wynorski made for Cinemax titty movies, I got you covered. I know where to find that.
You got all the Daily Motion links.
Yep. But that's all I know how to find now.
Well, what have you found in this past week? Did you find anything fun to watch at the cinemas? perhaps?
I did.
Okay.
I went back to the cinema
Okay.
and I watched the drama again.
Wait, what?
The drama starring Robert Pattinson.
But you had already seen it.
But I liked it so much that I saw it 2 times.
You can do that? They let you do that?
So, I mean, sometimes. I heard about a guy one time who saw The Phantom Thread like 30 times in the theater.
No, yeah, that was me.
Well,
It is true.
I was just said I heard about some guy, but
No, I
you
mean,
wanna
I'll
dox
own
yourself.
up to it. I will admit that on air. I did see The Phantom Thread. I'm still seeing it. I'm broadcasting live from the theater right now. And now
If
shuttered Landmark Cinemas on Pico.
if the Phantom Thread was being shown at like the Egyptian tomorrow night, would you go?
I mean, it plays. It definitely plays at least a couple times a year still. And I've lovingly looked at, the listings for it playing at either like the Academy Museum or, here or there, and haven't yet bit the bullet, but I eventually I will.
Have you seen it on your TV screen, or was the last time you saw it in the theater?
I did screen it once at home to check on it and see if it still retained the power, and I thought it was still very good at home. But
Okay.
hopefully the next time I see it will be in a theater again. But tell me about this drama without telling me anything, because I violated my my pledge to go out and see this, and so I still don't want to be spoiled. But let me know.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy it as much the second time? Did seeing it a second time enhance the experience?
I was a little worried because there's like a big reveal in the movie, and I was like, well, I don't know if this movie works if you know like that reveal, but it still works, and I thought it was even funnier this time around than the first time.
Oh, I think I actually heard. I mean, not to spoil it for maybe our listeners who haven't heard, but and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the reveal is something around.
Why are they fighting Dracula, for God's sakes?
Is that right?
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, they don't put this in the trailers, but Dracula is in it.
Yeah.
It's like the original ending of that new Safdie Brothers movie, Marty Supreme. It was supposed to have vampires in it. It's a lot like that.
Yeah, and the original ending of the new Michael Jackson movie was supposed to have vampires in it.
Well, he's a vampire the whole time, sucking on the blood of
not anymore.
10-year-old boys.
No, not after the reshoots.
Oh, they took that out.
Took all that out.
But yeah, it's very funny. You should see it pretty soon.
Okay, I will. Maybe next week.
Yeah, go see it next week. You're in LA, so it'll probably still be playing for a while.
It's going to play forever. We got a million.
Yeah.
They're still playing the Phantom Thread here.
That's true. Yeah, I was going to, like, up where I am, this week is probably like the last chance you'll get to see it. But I'm sure it'll be playing around you for at least another couple of weeks. So you got a little bit of time, I'm sure.
Well, you live in a cinematic desert.
Cinematic and normal desert, yeah.
Yeah.
It's very sad. There's only 9 screens in my town or something like that.
But, I mean, on the upside, plenty of tumbleweeds.
Tumbleweeds, cows. We got a lot of that. A lot of dudes chewing tobacco while wearing straw hats.
Yeah. Maybe like some wells that have dried up, and if you send the bucket down and bring it back up, you just get sand. You got some of those?
That's more of a Bakersfield thing, but there are some of those up here, yeah.
Man, I love that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good movie. Everybody should see it.
All right, I will see that. And what was the other one that I wanted to see? Besides that and Project Hail Mary, what's the third? There's like a third one that like just came out that I'm like, God damn it, now I got to see this.
Super Mario.
Definitely not that.
Not Super Mario. And not Faces of Death.
Probably not.
I don't know then.
I'm sure it's good. Whatever it is that I was thinking of.
You'll see it on the marquee.
Not Lee Cronin's The Mummy.
Probably not, no. Scream 7, because you're done with your boycott.
Oh, yeah. I've been looking forward to that.
Yeah. Boycott's over.
All right. Well, what else are we looking forward to?
Wrestling.
But we already talked about wrestling.
Could we talk about it more?
Are we talking about wrestling again?
We could.
Is this going to be another one of our signature We Watch Wrestling segments, Bowman?
I think it could be.
Okay, I think it is. Well, this is a doozy. I think last time we watched wrestling, we watched a tag team match that I believe was like the Crush Gals, maybe together with Yukari Omori versus Aja Kong and Bull Nakano and Dump Matsumoto, I think was maybe who it was. Anyways, this time we will be watching a match from a few years later in Japan, another women's match. This is Bull Nakano versus Aja Kong, and it's from the year 1990. And I guess we'll just start it in a moment, but you can find this on YouTube. Pretty easy to find. It's about 30 minutes long, and Bowman and I will be watching it and chatting over it. So it should be pretty exciting, right?
Yeah, I like doing this kind of stuff.
All right, well, let's just dive right in without further delay. I'll do a 3, 2, 1 play. So let's do that.
Perfect. Okay.
3, 2, 1, hit play. All right, we got a black screen. I got to crank down my volume or this announcer is going to be all up in my ear. But we got, here we are, the Wrestlemania 1990 at the Yokohama Arena, I think for a crowd of 6,000 or so. Bull Nakano on the left, Aja Kong on the right. Already getting into a tussle here in our pre-match interview. Feel bad for this interviewer guy who kind of looks like the newsman from Dragon Ball.
Yeah, true.
So it's cool to see him getting work in the wrestling world. And here we are, the bell's being rung, and it's time for the match. This will be a steel cage match between the champion, Bull Nakano, and the challenger, Aja Kong, who I mentioned, used to be allied with each other. They were both a part of Dump Matsumoto's Gokuaku Dome stable, but after she retired a couple years before this match, they parted ways, and Aja Kong, together with Bison Kimura, would form Jungle Jack, which they're a part of at the moment, where Bull Nakano would hang out with some former Gokuaku Dome people and continue her bid as the ace of All Japan Women's Wrestling. What do you think about Aja Kong's mohawk here?
I like it. I'm a little perturbed by this shirt that she's wearing that says Punk's dead.
Oh, yeah. It doesn't say Punk's not dead?
I don't think so. I mean, this isn't HD quality, but I think it just says Punk's dead, which is kind of rude.
This is the November 14th, 1990 cage match between the two of them, and confusingly, they had just had a cage match, I think less than 2 months before this, in like September of 1990, a separate one-on-one cage match where in that match, Aja Kong had the word fuck shaved into the side of her head very prominently.
Sweet.
I think it's kind of grown out by this point in time, and you can't really see that. So she's always got some kind of cool message to convey in her style. A little bit of hair pull here before the match even begins. Oh no, what's happening here, Bowman?
Scissors already, Sean Byron? This is the kind of stuff you got me watching, this violence?
Damn it, and she got thrown through these chairs like nobody's business. How is Bull going to even start this match now? She's bleeding from the face. Mm-hmm. She got thrown ass first through 100 chairs. Now she's just throwing the chairs at Aja. She's like, don't get in the cage. We got more business out here.
Yeah. You love to see that kind of stuff. I love when they got business outside,
Yeah. I love when they use these chairs that are all like tied to each other. And so like you hit one row of chairs and the whole fucking row falls back,
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't get that as much anymore.
Yeah. They also did just steal a couple chairs from like the audience. So like I mean, I don't know who was sitting in those chairs, but those people are standing up the rest of the show now.
Yeah, and we got a lone streamer thrown into the cage from the one fan who didn't get the memo. This is not that kind of match. No streamers. We're not celebrating anything. This is just pure carnage.
Yeah, just pure violence and hatred.
All right, we're in the cage now with these two women who seem to really hate each other.
Seems like it.
I'm not going to sugarcoat it for you, Bowman.
I think they're probably really mad at each other.
They're biting each other. We're flopping over the ring. I think there's real terror in the eyes of Bull Nakano here.
It seems like it. Now, I assume the Bull Nakano is our good guy for this match.
It's kind of not like that, I think. And I think actually maybe Aja Kong would, if you were going to pick one, would maybe be the gooder guy. She's more junior to Bull. I think she is just kind of like a natural underdog. She's mixed race. But I don't know, like at this time, maybe her mixed race status would have cemented her as a heel in Japan. I think these days that's one of the things that people, admire about her, is that she was a pioneering force in Japanese wrestling, despite being, not fully ethnically Japanese.
Now, in Japan, are youngsters are just more naturally baby faces than old people?
I think so. I think so.
Okay. I don't know enough about Japanese wrestling. I did not know.
And I'm pretty excited. I'm actually going to be seeing Aja Kong this week, probably while you're partying with Less Than Jake and Joshua Tree. I'll be not too far away in Las Vegas. Aja Kong's still wrestling, despite the fact that she had this banger of a match 36 years ago. I think she's celebrating her 40th anniversary as a wrestler this year.
That's pretty intense.
And she's still throwing spinning back fists just like that. Breaking jaws and noses, across the globe.
At this rate, it might be the only move she throws the whole rest of this match.
This is like those Street Fighter matches where, like, you've never played the character before, but you discovered their one special, and so you're like, all right, I'm just going to keep doing the spinning back fist.
Yeah, I'm doing the 1,000-hand slap over and over.
Yeah. I hope that Bull Nakano doesn't know where the block button is.
Well, she doesn't. You
Clearly.
think after 30 of these, she might have come up with some sort of a counter for just this one move over and over.
Clearly not as good at clicking buttons as Mr. Bowman is.
I could have come up with a counter.
Well, there's the counter, just a haymaker. Oh, man, that last back fist, though. That was full force, like right in the square of the nose. Why would you do this to somebody, Bowman?
I don't know.
Why would these two people agree to do this? Do you like Bull Nakano's cool, like, Grim Reaper shirt?
I do, yeah.
It's hard to make out with the pixels, but I assure you that it's very cool.
It's pretty metal. I feel like it's the kind of shirt I would have worn in high school.
Yeah. It's a good shirt for, like, playing Dungeons and Dragons with your buddies while smoking reefers. Something that I like to imagine Bull Nakano doing.
Of course.
So how would you describe this wrestling style so far?
Well, it started off pretty good, and now we've only seen spinning back fists for the last 7 minutes or something. So I'm not even sure I would classify that as wrestling at this point, but things are picking back up. I would describe this wrestling style as just two people hitting each other in the face until one of them dies, I assume.
Well, we will see if anybody dies at the conclusion of this match at Wrestlemania in Yokohama. But yeah, it looks like there's been some nunchucks introduced by Bull Nakano. That is her preferred weapon of choice, the nunchucks.
Mm-hmm.
She's pretty good at it, actually. She can really spin them around without hitting her own face, which is something I can't do.
Yeah, me neither. That's why Donatello had to be my favorite Ninja Turtle.
Yeah, he had the long bow staff, right?
Yeah, it's hard to hit yourself in the face with that.
Seemed like the most, surefire weapon to me. Probably cut myself with those little sighs, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, we're running some ropes. That resembles a wrestling match, right?
Yeah.
We got lariats. You know about lariats.
Yeah, what's this guy throwing in?
Oh, yeah, we got like an oil can. Got one of those 5-liter oil cans. I believe Dump Matsumoto was the first one to use those, but became kind of a hallmark of Joshi wrestling, especially around this time. Aja still uses them a lot to this day. But she just got one there in the face. That's not how you want to use it.
Not at all. It looked, the way that the light was reflecting on it, it looked like a microwave or something at first. I was like, how strong is this dude in the audience? He's throwing a microwave over the fucking, the cage.
It wouldn't shock me. I mean, there's been some gnarly moments in these matches. Man, that is not what you want to do with nunchucks unless you're trying to kill somebody. What the hell?
Yeah.
Oh, now we're clubbing poor Aja on the head.
That's disrespectful.
So yeah, in Vegas this weekend, it's like, it's WrestleMania weekend, and so there's like a million different shows. They are doing a Stranglemania follow-up, the Insane Clown Posse. I didn't get tickets. I'm not going to go to it, but I might stream that. I'm curious to see, could those guys still make me laugh with their commentaries?
They're just like going to show wrestling matches and talk over them, or is it like?
No, it's like an actual event, and they're going to do commentary.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Live matches, yeah.
That would be very fun.
It's probably, I guess, mostly like GCW guys, I think, is usually who does those kind of shows, but I'm not really sure. They've got their own kind of promotion, right? Juggalo Championship Wrestling, I think, right?
Yeah, that's still going on.
But I'm not sure how many shows they really run.
I don't know. My man Marky D123 on YouTube, he reviews their shows from time to time. That's how I keep up with them.
Yeah. There's some fun shows, though, for sure. There's the Joey Janela clusterfuck thing or whatever that is, just like a clusterfuck, like it, like it's named, but it's kind of amusing. You ever see one of those like clusterfuck battle royale type things?
I don't think I have, no.
We'll watch one someday, but they're very long, so it'll probably have to be a whole episode, not just a first segment.
Okay. I'm into that.
Man, and Aja Kong is into crushing Bull, it looked like, but now a reversal. It's quite a back and forth here we got.
Yeah.
Oh, we got faces being crushed into the mat. What even is that move, Bowman? What would you call that face-crushing move?
I mean, if we were doing create a wrestler stuff in the new, WWE 2K, I think that would just be called a face crusher.
Yeah.
Like a sit out. Well, not a sit out face crusher. That's Xbox move. But some sort of face crusher.
Now we got Bull going up to the top rope, it looks like.
Yeah.
What is she thinking? Could be a double axe handle.
My favorite thing's happening. The fan club people on the outside are fighting amongst each other. I love when that happens.
Yeah. It's getting pretty heated, it looks like. I got my sound turned all the way down, but maybe I'll crank it up a little bit, see how heated it's getting in this arena.
Yeah, I've got it up a little bit.
I love
these ladies.
I love the commentators.
Yeah, the commentators are intense. These ladies, I mean, we're only 12 minutes into this match, but for as much climbing the ropes and running around and stuff as these ladies are doing, very impressive for being bigger ladies.
Yeah. Yeah, they still got the gas. Nobody's exhausted. I credit all the cocaine, of course.
Yeah, big time. Cocaine and probably the carbs from rice. Gives you a lot of energy.
But hey, no matter how you get there, it's impressive that you did.
Yeah.
Now this is kind of a follow-up to their prior cage match where Aja spent most of the match focusing on Bull Nakano's left leg and knee. That's why we see some of this follow-up here. She's really been targeting that knee.
Ah!
The scissors are never a fun sight.
No, it's too dangerous. To just start stabbing a lady in the arm with scissors.
So, if you see a photo of Aja Kong today, you'll notice some very large scars on her right arm, and this is where they came from.
All right, I like that kind of lore.
Yeah. This is the famous scissor incident for Aja.
Yeah. Bull Nakano looked like pretty, pretty upset with those scissors. Like those did not look like worked scissor shots. Like those look like you need to calm the fuck down. I'm gonna kick your ass for a minute. Scissor shots.
They're not gimmicked scissors. They're not safety scissors.
Yeah. Which is wild because
oh shit.
Yeah,
dude.
they're fighting.
Medusa just took a big punch to the face. I'm not sure who that was. Maybe Bison Kimura.
But yeah, but with wrestling being this low definition back in these days, and then also you've got the cage is obscuring people's views and stuff like that. Like you could get away with using kid scissors, or whatever.
Oh yeah. But they didn't. They had the balls to do it for real. But yeah, it's getting ugly right now for Aja Kong. There's a blood loss factor at play. Yeah. Certainly the pain's got to be excruciating. Look at this. This is faces of death territory right here. I think this specifically is maybe where the gnarliest scars came into play, is right there. Medusa trying to save Aja Kong, looks like.
Okay. I feel like historically in Japan, Medusa was a bit of a good guy, right? Or no? So maybe,
yeah, I think so, yeah.
Yeah, so maybe maybe you're right then. That Bull is the heel here.
You see that broken nose on Medusa?
Yeah, that's intense.
Fully broken right across the bridge.
That lady's very tough.
It sucks when you get your nose broken in a match that you're not even in. You wonder, did she even get paid for this night,
Yeah.
Probably put an end to her singing career, Medusa, with that broken nose. Have you seen that Medusa's All Japan musical career?
I have not, no.
She was maybe the worst singer out of all these girls. Somehow, almost all of them, though, did record singles. You can get Bull Nakano music, you can get Dump Matsumoto music. I don't think there's an Aja Kong song. Maybe there is.
Yeah. Liv Morgan just put out a single today, so this tradition is still alive and well.
I didn't know that. Wow. How is it?
I watched a little bit of it. There's a full music video on it that they posted. It's kind of weird. But it fits her character. It's kind of cool.
I'm sure there's some value to it. Even if not musically, I'm sure the video is probably aesthetically pleasing.
That it is.
Now, is it legal to tie up your opponent to the ropes with another rope in a cage match?
I mean, in a Hell in a Cell, it would be. I don't know about this. I mean, I would think it would have to be, right?
Yes, and look at that. She's just like, what the fuck, dude? You didn't tie me up. not willing at all to play along with the kayfabe of pro wrestling.
Yeah,
like, that's not a real fucking knot.
She shouldn't, because she tied her up to the rope that she then wanted to climb up. Like, she should have tied her to the rope and then tried to climb up. Yeah, like the opposing one, like she's doing now. That's how that makes sense. But also, she's just not tied up at all. So
it's also tricky to tie like a real 6-point knot or whatever after you've, been stabbing somebody for 20 minutes and your adrenaline's probably through the roof.
Yeah.
You've taken a million back fists to the dome. Gotta say, though, they still haven't really slowed down much.
Yeah. Another microwave.
Yeah. Now, would you say that you would want more selling out of this? Does this suffer from the Moxley Osprey no selling kind of problem?
Well, Aja's doing a little bit of that, where something will happen and she won't sell, but like, they're for the most part they're selling properly.
Okay. It's tough to know how much to sell getting stabbed for real in the arm 500 times.
Yeah. Well, the incorrect way would be to get stabbed 500 times in the arm and then immediately hit the other person with a shooting star press.
Yeah.
Like that's the mistake I see a lot of guys making now.
I guess, yeah, the first move of the comeback shouldn't be like one of the more, athletic and agile moves in your repertoire. Like maybe you start the comeback with like a punch or something.
Yeah. I'll try. Like, there's one clip in specific where like Moxley hit Will Ospreay with like his double arm DDT, and then Will Ospreay immediately stood up and then hit him with an elbow. And like,
that's New Japan shit. Like that's the classic, like, I'm a Superman and I'm going to do like the very pointed no sell of one maneuver late in the match where like, I guess Hogan did it too, right? Like that was like the Hogan way of kind of rallying back.
Yeah, but I mean like Hogan did like a whole like theatrical like thing with it. Like, I don't know. Yeah, but like, yeah, that's like the thing that people in the comments on Twitter and stuff always say is like, oh, he could only do that because he was full of adrenaline. And it's like, well, like, okay, if this was real, like, I get that Muhammad Ali did that to George Foreman, but like, this is a show. Like, let's make a show out of it.
Speaking of a show, I think Bull Nakano is making a show out of stomping on Aja Kong's neck for real as hard as she can.
Yeah.
So really trying to collapse that throat pipe. But yeah, this kind of stuff, when I first saw these matches that these women were putting on in Japan, and I wondered, like, where had this been all of my life? Like, I had assumed that women's wrestling, especially from the 80s and early 90s, would be, some Mildred Burke shit, but... And this stuff is, to me, I mean, you can put this up against any match from ECW, is fucking hardcore shit right here.
Yeah, and this is like what, like a few years before all that ECW stuff, right?
Yeah, 1990.
Yeah. So yeah, this is definitely a few years before. I feel like we're getting that today, like too cyclically. Like I feel like a lot of the more like intense hardcore matches today are, Chris Statlander and Tony Storm and people like that.
Yeah, definitely. Pretty gnarly suplex there, right onto the nunchucks. Aja Kong making her way up the cage. Can she escape? Is she going for another offensive maneuver? What's going to happen here? Oh, she's going to take nunchucks to the leg for a while.
It is hard climbing up the cage.
I'm not even sure if I can do it.
It does look a little flimsy.
It does, yeah.
It's probably pretty difficult to get up there.
You've never been in a cage match in your illustrious career, I assume?
No, sadly.
Ooh. Failed leg drop attempt from the top rope. A German suplex. No bridge from Aja Kong, but I don't think she ever really hit one.
There's no need for it.
You don't like those fancy bridges that the kids do these days?
I do like them. But I mean, when you're in a match like this, like, it just wouldn't make any sense. The proper move would be to get up and start hitting the other person with a stick of wood,
Yeah, sure. Sometimes that's all that you need to do. What do you think about those double German suplexes where it's like I'm giving two guys a German at once? You like this, or you think it looks too choreographed?
It's a little corny. I'm all right with it sometimes, though.
I think I saw one where 3 people got Germaned within the past week, but I've seen so much wrestling that I can't remember exactly where I saw it.
That might be a little too much.
Oh man, Aja Kong dropped on her head. She needs that head. It's the only one she got.
She needs neck bones too, but I don't think she has them anymore.
Yeah. Still going, like I said. 40
my
years
God.
into her career. Wait, what is this? Oh, Nakano, what are you doing?
Ah, Jesus Christ!
Damn, dude, leg drop from the top of the cage, and it landed perfectly on her neck.
That's the most insane thing I've ever seen. Like, she hit so hard that she bounced right back up onto her feet.
Yeah. I mean, that's how you win a cage match in 1990.
That is craziness.
Yeah, try that, Jimmy Snuka.
Streamers guy, he's back.
Yeah.
Throwing more streamers. He knows now is the time to celebrate.
I think we can celebrate now that the bell is rung, but that one guy was still a little bit too early. But yeah, congratulations to Bull Nakano. Hard-fought victory. I mean, it only took tying her opponent to the ropes and stabbing her 1,000 times with scissors and repeated blows with illegal nunchucks, but she earned it.
Yeah. And then, yeah, dropping your 200 pounds or whatever onto her neck from 12 feet up.
Yeah. Bull Nakano's that's a big weight to be dropped right on your neck.
Yeah.
So, and kudos to Medusa for her involvement. Not really sure that it paid off, considering that Aja lost, but it's cool to see her show up, get her nose broken.
Yeah.
Exciting times at the Yokohama Arena.
Yeah, this match was crazy.
Oh, what's happening now? Is the celebration getting cut short? Looks as if we've got some yelling. Is Medusa asking for some piece of Bull Nakano? Could that be what's happening here? No, looks like we got Bison Kimura challenging Bull to a revenge match.
I like the sound of that.
Bull Nakano's thinking, dude, I'm bleeding buckets over here and have been for 30 minutes. Can I just go to the locker room? Do we have to do the post-match interview segment?
Yeah.
That's the life of a wrestler, I guess.
I suppose so, yeah. I love that everybody has like a little crew of helpers.
Yeah.
I think, for whatever reason, I think it's the funnest thing about these matches.
I like when they bring over the little ice packs or the little spray, the healing mist spray that they use.
Mm-hmm. Is that a Napalm Death shirt?
Oh, yeah. I think it is a Napalm Death shirt, huh?
Sweet.
I never knew that.
Looks like what it says on the back.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. That classic Grim Reaper shirt that I've seen on Bull Nakano all these years. It says Napalm Death on the back, I think.
Now, who are these dorky folks who look like that they would be hanging out with Shelton Benjamin and Charlie Haas?
I thought that was Linus Oscar. No, it's not. I don't know who this is.
These are real straight-laced folks.
Yeah, they're certainly not members of Goku Akudome or any of the villainous stables. Chotomate. Just a minute, says Medusa, with the only Japanese phrase that I also know. So congrats, Medusa. We share that in common. And it's all devolving again into a big brawl. This is a mess, Bowman. How are we going to clean this up? We've got nearly every junior wrestler in the company now. In the steel cage. Knotted up.
I don't think there's a single referee.
No. And there's
These
no
people are
doctor to attend to Medusa's, like, clearly smashed up face.
Yeah. These folks are just left to figure out this chaos among themselves. No referees, no officials.
No.
Using the honor system here in Japanese wrestling.
Who even knows that these are all actual wrestlers from the company? I mean, some of these could just be fans for all we know.
Yeah, you could just wear a tracksuit to the show and then just run into the ring. No one would know.
I would have done it. I mean, I guess it probably wouldn't have worked if I did it, but yeah, maybe if I had the right wig, who knows? I've been told that I have a shapely figure in the past, so with the right wig, Bowman, I might be able to pull it off.
Mm-hmm.
I actually don't remember if there is anything exciting here in the last few minutes of this video. Probably won't be, but who knows? Maybe there might be.
Sadly, I don't know Japanese, so I'm missing a bit of this.
Yeah. I mean, but the violence is universal, so...
That's true.
One of these days I am going to learn Japanese, and then I'm going to have to rewatch all of this Japanese wrestling that I've wasted so much of my life watching.
Then you'll finally get the context.
Yeah. Like,
You can be like, oh, they were mad at each other.
She wanted the championship belt. Okay. Medusa carrying Aja Kong. That's a nice sign of goodwill.
Yeah, that's a sign of trust and respect, friendship.
You like to see this between wrestlers of differing nations.
Yeah.
Now, did you always consider Medusa to be a heel because of her actions throwing the WWE Women's title into the trash on Nitro?
Yeah, she was definitely heelish after that. I probably thought she was a heel for a long time as a kid. I rewatched the worst parts of WCW a few years ago, like the Vince Russo, like very, very end before they went under.
Yeah, when it's all Master P matches and things like this.
Yeah, and she was kind of a big part of that era, and I grew to like her more. Like, she had like a lot of matches against like Billy Kidman and stuff like that for some reason.
A Disco Inferno.
Yeah, so I grew to like her again after that. And I actually watched some of her Japanese stuff after I became a fan of hers. Like, there's this one, I don't know who it was against, but like there's this one match she had that was like essentially just a boxing match presented as a wrestling match that is like so intense and like not worked at all. Like that like scarred me like 8 years ago or whenever I watched it. I should try to track that down. It's it's very violent.
Yeah, well, maybe for a future installment of We Watch Wrestling, a JFS patented segment.
Yeah, Bull got beat up so bad that her hair fell down and looks like normal hair now.
Yeah, but still looks kind of cool.
Yeah, it looks like the hair that a lot of ladies have these days, where it's like kind of a mullet almost, like sort of dyed but not well. Like, it looks she was ahead of her time.
Yeah, a real trendsetter. Okay, well, and that was Bull Nakano versus Aja Kong from November 14th, 1990 at the Yokohama Bunka Gymnasium. It's probably my favorite gymnasium in the Yokohama area, the Bunka one.
Is that a place you've been to?
No, not at all. I'm just talking out of my ass. I've been to Yokohama. I've never been to their Bunka Gymnasium.
Okay.
I have been to the Ota Ward Gymnasium, if you want to talk about gymnasiums in the Tokyo area that I've been to.
Okay, was that a good one?
It's all right. I saw the Marigold pay-per-view there. Very uncomfortable seating. But otherwise, it was fine.
It was those little metal chairs that are taped together?
No, it was like the benches, like the long bleachers, you know? And like very small bleachers. I feel like they're really built for Japanese-sized butts. And that's not what I'm rocking.
Yeah.
So it's that thing where you're sitting on a bleacher and I'm like, my back is leaning against the knees of the guy behind me and my knees are like, I got to spread them so that I'm not doing that to the guy in front of me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But then that guy could lean back and just like be in your lap.
Yeah. He could tickle my balls with the back of his head quite easily, you know, almost by mistake.
And then the guy behind you could tickle your ass with a feather.
Tickle your ass with a feather?
Well, speaking of tickling people's asses with a feather, we've got a voicemail.
Oh, okay. Let's tickle that ass.
All right, let's find out whose ass we're tickling with a feather as I play their theme song.
Kyle from Kentucky!
Hey guys, it's your old buddy Kyle from Kentucky, and I just wanted to let y'all know I'm doing pretty good. I've been out of work for a little while. My love for drugs has caused me some problems, and I've lost a few jobs. But I'm healing up, getting ready to go back to work. And I was just one thing I was wondering was, I remember I was like, wonder what the junk food dinner guy's favorite food is. I remember Parker saying years ago that his favorite food was a chili dog. And here in eastern Kentucky and in southern Ohio, right across from Ashland, we call them a hot dog with sauce. Same thing. And I know that's what he always said. Is that still your favorite food, Parker? And Sean, what's your favorite food? And if you can text Kevin and see what he likes. Just curious what your guys' favorite food is. Hey, the shows have been great lately. Hey, I'd like to be on sometime. Message me. And keep up the good work, guys.
Oh, thanks, Kyle.
Yeah, thanks for the voicemail.
Should we just get this out of the way and ask Kevin first if there's any food experiences that he likes the most?
Yeah, eating pie.
Oh, okay. That makes sense, Kevin. He likes eating pie. You know, that's what he likes the most.
Of course, that makes sense. I like, the audience may not know this, but Kevin just sits quietly and listens while we record these Junk Food Supper episodes, so he can kind of chime in whenever a voicemail asks.
I mean, if we choose to engage him, but I rarely do.
Yeah. Yeah, I think my favorite food is probably Skyline. I mean, that, like if a genie was here and was like, hey, you can have anything you want in the world to eat, I mean, it would probably be Skyline, but then again, if I lived in Ohio and I was eating Skyline regularly, I'd probably say something different. I guess one time I had like a way too extravagant meal in Vegas. Like I like kind of accidentally went to like a really fancy restaurant and had like all this like crazy like caviar and framboise. That's probably not how you pronounce that. You know, that shit that's illegal in California because you torture a goose to eat it.
It's a bloated goose liver, I believe.
Yeah. And despite it being more than like my car payment, it was very delicious. So maybe I would pick that if I had a genie here. Whatever was going on with that meal.
Fancy boy. I never would have expected that.
Well, Jennifer talked me into it. I would never do that. I like chili dogs. I'm a garbage person. I eat whatever garbage is laying around generally, but she talked me into it. But so yeah, maybe I would wish for that if a genie was here, just because I know I'm never going to pay for something like that again. But chili dogs is probably my favorite food. But what about you, Sean?
I've actually been thinking about this a lot lately, and I was talking about this with the wife recently, because I feel like over various points in my life, I would have told you that, like, cheeseburger is my favorite food. That was probably my long-time answer. Pizza certainly was up there and probably my favorite. Ice cream is another one that is certainly a favorite. But when it really comes down to it, I think my favorite food is butter. Just butter.
Just like a straight up stick of it, or
There's different approaches. I'm not gonna pass down a stick of butter, but no, it just enhances everything, And if I'm eating pancakes, you better believe that it's going to be a combo of like the butter that is already melted into the pancake, and also I want to get some like little unmelted guys that are going to kind of hover on top of it that I'm going to chomp into while I'm eating the pancake. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
You like that sensation of the guy, the little butter pad that's kind of half melted?
Yeah. I fuck heavy with that little half melted guy whenever I'm having an English muffin.
Oh, yeah, dude. Half melted on an English muffin is incredible. And then there's a snack food from Japan, tying it back to our friends in Japan, called the butter press sand that I fucking love. And I first got this in a train station. There's a little window in the Shinjuku train station near the east exit that sells these butter press sands, but they're like little cookies, basically. And imagine it like this, where it's like a wafer thin kind of cookie shell on the outside. And then on the inside, a little bit of caramel and then a huge chunk of butter. Just like a nice little square of butter. And you bite into this guy and it's mostly butter, but you get that little cookie crunch on the outside. It's my favorite thing, the butter press sand.
That sounds pretty tasty.
Yeah, so look for one of those next time you're at the east exit of Shinjuku Station.
Okay, I think I will. Yeah, butter is weird because, like, if you ate like a bite of butter, if you pulled the stick out, it would taste bad. But you can melt it down and put it on anything, and then that thing tastes better. Like, I don't know that there's any other food like that.
It is strange, right? I mean, you can just even put it on a cracker. It wouldn't maybe sound good, but I guarantee you have butter on a cracker, it's good. You will like it. But you take that little cracker away somehow, and now it's nauseating to people.
Yeah, it's very strange.
I'm here to tell you, don't be nauseated. You can just eat things that are, if not predominantly butter, but I would say even, just completely butter.
Okay.
Maybe
I'll try it.
Yeah, try it. Try like an ice cream scoop full of butter next time for dessert.
All right. Now we're talking. Yeah, next time I go to Handles, like, how like they do like the 4-scoop sampler,
yeah.
I'll see if I could just get one of those scoops to just be butter. I'm sure they have some in the back somewhere.
They probably do have a butter flavored Handles. They got so many goddamn flavors.
That's true. Yeah. It's been a while since I've gone there. I guess.
Really?
Yeah, it's been.
Was the last time with me?
I think I got it one time over, like maybe like Christmas or something. I ordered some up.
We were there a couple days ago. I got the pretzel cookie dough flavor. I forget what it's.
Oh, that sounds nice.
I think it's called Not Your Average Dough, but not with a KN.
Okay,
but it's good.
It's good. I've been hankering for the key lime lately. I get cravings for that from time to time.
Is that that's not like a sherbety type thing, right? This is more of like a milk base.
Yeah, it's more milk. It's an ice cream. It tastes like lime mostly, but then there's like crumbles of like pie crust in there.
Oh, I like that. I like a pie crust crumble,
Yeah. Should try it out next time. It's good.
This pretzel guy has it's just like cookie dough ice cream, I think, but then they've got like a ribbon of crushed salty pretzel or whatever, And so you get that texture of like dry ass crushed pretzel alongside the cold, wet ice cream. Something about that contrast I really love.
As do I.
So yeah, check out Handles. Locations worldwide, I think. At least nationwide.
If we've got one here, we got to have them everywhere.
Man, there's one that's opening up. I think it's going to open up like this week, about a half mile from me, and I'm nervous, dude, because up until now I've had to go all the way down to Downey for it, and it's like a nice 30-minute buffer where it's like, if I want to have this, I have to invest the time. It's not going to happen all the time. But now it's like on the way to my grocery store. So I'm going to see it all the time.
You're going to have to go there all the time.
It's scary. Hopefully they got some kind of a point card or something. I can collect rewards maybe for frequent visits.
Oh, I thought you were going to say a point card like for rations. Like, hey, buddy, you've been here 10 times already this month. Get out of here.
Yeah, hopefully they've got some AI facial recognition that they can use to discourage my frequent purchasing.
Yeah. But it's good, though. It's worth going to.
I love it. That's a pretty good one. Brewster's also good. I'm not sure if you've had Brewster's ice cream. I like them too.
I have not, no.
Not sure where they're based, but they got a couple down here.
Okay, I'll look into it.
Oh, based in Bridgewater, Pennsylvania.
All right. Well, thanks again to Kyle for
yeah.
And we'll have him on the show one day.
Yeah, we should. We must, I would say.
Yeah. But in the meantime, I think we're going to take a quick break because when we come back, we're going to be talking about Mel Brooks' The Producers. So stick around.
Tired of only hearing your junk food dinner hosts talk to you? You want to start talking to them? Then pick up your Zach Morris-like cellular phone and dial 347-746-JUNK. That's 347-746-5865. Leave us a message about the movies we've talked about. Did we give a good review to a movie you think sucks? Did we take a crap on your favorite movie? Let us know. Or call it to suggest a movie, or tell us why you hate LeBron James. Remember to leave a name and the city you represent when you call. We are very lonely, and rarely hear the voices of other humans.
So dial this number now if you dare. Tell them Betty sent you.
Now on DVD and Blu-ray.
Let's assume, just for the moment, that you are a dishonest man. Assume away.
From the endlessly funny mind of Mel Brooks.
Springtime for Hitler. A gay romp with Adolf and Eva at Berchtesgaden. Wow.
Comes the Oscar-winning cult classic, The Producers.
Step 1, we find the worst play in the world, a surefire flop. Step 2, I raise $1 million. A lot of little old ladies in the world.
Starring Zero Mostel and Gene Wilder.
Mr. Bialystok, I cannot function in these conditions. You're making me extremely nervous.
In one of the funniest movies ever made.
You fat fatty, give me those spare books now! The receptionist that can't speak English? What will people say?
They'll say, I see it! A line of beautiful girls dressed as stormtroopers.
Don't be stupid, be a smarty. Come and join the Nazi party.
Available for the first time on Blu-ray.
Oh, joy of joys. Oh, dream of dreams.
Featuring a new 1080p high-def transfer.
That is genius! Genius!
And packed with bonus features, including the making of The Producers and Mel and his movies.
When I got to Springtime for Hitler, he spit out the tuna fish sandwich and the coffee, and he fell on the floor, and he said, stop. We're going to make this movie.
Own this explosion of pure comedic lunacy. The Producers, now available in a collector's edition Blu-ray DVD combo pack.
Welcome back to Junk Food Supper. The movie we're talking about here is The Producers from 1967. This is the debut film from a man named Mel Brooks, a legendary character who brought us things like Young Frankenstein, Blazing Saddles, Spaceballs, High Anxiety. He also brought us Max Brooks, who wrote World War Z. He is one of my favorite novelists. So that's also important.
Yeah, and also brought us Brooks' film, which brought us one of your favorite movies, The Elephant Man. Because as we all know...
I like David Lynch.
I like David Lynch.
I think he was also instrumental in Cronenberg's The Fly being made as well.
Yeah, so that's cool.
Yeah. So
and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is your debut viewing of The Producers.
Yeah, I've never seen The Producers. I grew up being a big Mel Brooks fan. My dad showed me Blazing Saddles when I was like way too young, and I loved it. And then, obviously Spaceballs was a big one when I was a little kid. And then I saw at the age of like 12, Robin Hood Men in Tights on opening night at the theater because I was partially a Mel Brooks fan, but also a big Dave Chappelle fan at the time.
And a big Robin Hood fan. Let's admit, some of that film's success is due to us all enjoying the Kevin Costner movie a couple years prior.
I think that's true. That's true. That's a good point.
I mean, they had those cool play sets with the like the tree forts and stuff. You remember those action figures?
Oh yeah, those were cool. Weird to have toys based on a movie where so much rape happens.
Well, I mean, that was most movies pre Y2K.
That's true. That's true. There was a lot of very violent movie-based toy tie-ins.
Now, did you feel like, as a non-prior viewer of this movie, did you feel like you knew everything in this already as it's spooled out in front of you? Like, was the Simpsons curse at play here where everything had been referenced for you?
Yes, 100%.
Okay.
The plot of this Producers is we've got Zero Mostel plays Max Bialystock, who is an over-the-hill, past his prime Broadway producer, and Gene Wilder, who plays Leo Bloom. He is his accountant, and they come up with the idea that if they were to make a Broadway show that bombed, they could stand to personally make a lot of money through various illegal deeds. Every beat of the plot has been ruined for me. I'm not entirely sure where. I think probably Curb Your Enthusiasm. There's a season where Mel Brooks approaches Larry David to do a Broadway version of the movie. And Larry David plays Max Bialystock, and I assume that they kind of just give away the whole show throughout the season. It's been a while since I've seen it, but I don't know where else I would have learned literally everything about this movie. Because, there's like no surprises. I knew it all beat for beat, which is a shame. I mean, it's just a shame because, you want to watch a movie sort of fresh, but sort of at risk of putting my entire thoughts about this movie out there, like the big strokes in this movie are the funniest, I think. Like the idea of trying to put on a show that will fail is funny. The idea that it's springtime for Hitler is funny. The idea that it, spoiler alert here, that it backfires on them at the end, like that's funny. Like the big plot strokes here are funny, and the details are much less funny to me. So,
well, and especially if you think about it in context of, you're an audience member in 1967, Hollywood, I feel like, spent so many decades from the 30s, 40s, 50s, and onwards making all of these movies about making movies, about making plays, about putting on a production that is supposed to be a success. You've got things like 42nd Street or Singing in the Rain, etc. And this must have been a fun inversion of that for audiences of the day of like, oh yeah, we think that we've seen this kind of a story before, but here's this funny twist.
Yeah, absolutely. And then also like, the subversion that Gene Wilder is like usually if you have like a movie about like con men who are trying to do some sort of a con, like they're a lot more suave than the very anxiety-ridden Gene Wilder and the very slobbish Max Bialystock. I feel like to the casting and the performances there probably also a bit of a subversion. And then I think probably the biggest thing that you don't get about this movie in 2026 that you got in 1967 is Hitler had only died 22 years earlier, which would be like if you made a movie like this now about 9/11 or something. Like how wildly like controversial and topical that must have been like at this time. And I mean, it obviously still is, as we'll probably talk about, like because we still have Nazis. Somehow Nazis have returned. But
But yeah, it's tough to appreciate that in like a post Team America world that we live in, where we're used to now, like, commentary being, I think a little bit closer to when it actually happened. It wouldn't shock me now if there was like a comedy made about who was that CEO killer, Luigi, whatever. Like, I could see that. We live in a world now where shit like that happens, but I feel like in '67, it might have been a little bit more shocking.
Yeah. And I mean, yeah, like there was Team America, which was like not totally about 9/11, but sort of about 9/11. But like, yeah, I feel like, every once in a while we still do get stuff like that. Mostly it's from Trey Parker and Matt Stone, I think, but also like there's that.
Who I think owe a lot to this movie. This must have been one of their favorite movies. I'm imagining they saw it together in college and were like, let's start a whole cottage industry around this kind of humor.
I think so, yeah. Because like the controversial aspects of it, the like live theater, like those guys are like big theater dorks. Obviously, they've done their own Broadway show. Like, yeah, I feel like a lot of stuff that's in here probably spoke to them. The goofy, over the top characters and stuff, yeah, for sure. But yeah, like there was also like that. I forget the name of it. That North Korea movie that James Franco made. Like every once in a while, we'll get something like this. But like. So yeah, you're right. But yes, like it's more common now maybe, but it is still pretty rare that you get something where somebody comes out with a thing like, hey, I know you guys still have fresh memories of fighting in World War II, but here's a comedy about it. Like that's like so insane to me. Like
to the point where, this movie was very difficult to get produced. I think Brooks like wrote the script, or at least had the idea, as early as like 1961, and then spent a long time trying to, at first flush it out and then later, find finance for it. And he ended up getting some like friend of a friend to produce it, but it's basically just a very independent production because, no studio wanted to touch a Springtime for Hitler script at the time.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense. Cause yeah, I mean, 67, I mean, I don't know a lot about comedy from the 60s, but I think of like, I don't know, I guess Laugh-In and stuff like that was like a little bit subversive. Like they were making jokes about like Vietnam and stuff, but like, yeah, I don't feel like there was a lot of stuff back in these days that was like super edgy. Like I feel like Saturday Night Live might have been like the first time where it was like mainstream to be super edgy or something like that. Like, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just not old enough. Maybe I'm missing a lot of stuff. But like, yeah, it certainly feels like. I mean, he's Mel Brooks. I mean, he influenced everything after, so maybe that's true. Like maybe, yeah, this was like a super fresh thing to come out and be like, hey, we're going to be edgy.
Yeah,
like that probably,
but not edgy from like a Roger Corman, like Grindhouse, like we're making a sleazy movie that looks sleazy kind of a way. It's like this is a proper film, that looks professional, but it's got some subversive elements in its, storytelling.
Yeah, it's a thoughtfully edgy type of a thing.
Yeah, this is no smut film.
Yeah. Yeah, so in this movie, Gene Wilder's very funny, as he always is. I like him. I mean, well, okay, so, well, all right. So I kind of meant, I mean, I feel like I implied this, but I think the big strokes of this movie are funny. I'll just get right out here and say it.
Say it. Please do say it.
I think the big strokes of this movie are funny, but by and large, I didn't really think this movie was like very funny. I laughed a couple of times. Like it's mostly like amusing and like witty. It's like, and I mean, I'm not mad at the movie or anything, because comedy does not age well as a rule. But yeah, like a lot of the stuff that happens in this is like the kind of funny where you go, oh, that's funny. You go like, oh, that's witty. That's insightful. But I didn't laugh a whole lot. But I mean, I was entertained mostly. It does get a little boring here and there. But yeah, like, I don't like, I don't know. Am I crazy? Like when you watch this, do you like laugh a lot, or do you just like find it kind of pleasantly amusing the way I did?
I laughed.
Okay.
I laughed a lot, and I hadn't. I mean, I've seen this a lot of, more than a half dozen times, but I hadn't seen it for 15 plus years, and I wasn't sure if I was going to laugh, but I did laugh a lot, and I don't usually laugh at comedies.
Well, now I feel crazy.
It's all right. I mean, it's, it didn't really stroke you, as Kevin might say.
Yeah. I mean, but it did. Like, I enjoy it. Like, I don't want to say like I don't, but like, I don't know. I didn't like the main guy, Max Bialystok. I thought he was annoying. But I like
in the writing or in the performance?
In the performance.
You didn't like Zero Mostel?
No, I didn't like him.
He's not your hero, Mostel.
No, he's just like hollering, like a lot. I don't like that. But I do like the writing. Like I said, it's like all very like witty and like stuff like that. So I do like when they go to the choreographer and like they're like working on the play. Like getting the idea for the play is like fun. And like there's that scene where they're like reading all the plays to try to find the worst one, and Gene Wilder's going crazy because he finds himself reading plays that he already read earlier in the day. I thought that part was like fun. But then once they like actually start putting the play together, I think that stuff's my favorite stuff. But it also is like maybe the shortest sequence of the movie.
Yeah,
like when they're doing
it's
casting.
surprising like how sparse a lot of this is. It's I think less than 90 minutes, and when you give like the summary of the movie, the one sentence summary of the movie, that's pretty much it. Like there's not a whole lot of twists and turns,
Yeah, true. It's a very A to B sort of a movie. But yeah, I like the casting. I like when they're casting Hitler and like there's all those Hitlers around. That's funny to me.
Yeah. Did you like who they ended up with as Hitler?
I do. I thought that guy was funny. But
you know who that guy is, right?
Oh, who's that guy?
That's Mr. Belvedere.
Is that true?
Yeah, it's Mr. Belvedere. A show that I never watched, so it doesn't really strike me as being something fun, but I would imagine if you did watch Mr. Belvedere, you'd get a kick out of that.
That is what? What was the name of that? Oh, I'll have to find it later. That is crazy. Yeah, I would not have guessed that. That is actually intense.
Here he is as a young beatnik in this movie. You never would have thought.
Yeah, absolutely. That's interesting. But yeah, he's
Christopher Hewitt is homeboy's name.
Hewitt. Holy shit. That is Mr. Belvedere. All right. Wild stuff. I like his performance. I like.
Oh, actually, this is the director that I'm talking about. You're talking about. That's not Hitler, though. Who the hell played Hitler?
Who did play Hitler? Would that be Andreas Vustinas?
Oh, no, it's LSD, Dick Shawn.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
he's not at all Mr. Belvedere.
He's not Mr. Belvedere now.
But the other guy, Roger Debris, the director, how about that? He's Mr. Belvedere.
Yeah, that's wild.
It's fun.
But yeah, so one part I kind of don't get about this movie is, maybe I do, but maybe you can clarify it for me. So they put on the show.
Is it going to be about the financials and about whether or not this actually makes sense, this whole ploy? Because I don't think it does.
I think you're probably right, but no, it's not about that.
Okay.
So they hire LSD to play Hitler because they think he'll do the worst job.
Yeah.
And then people are like really upset about Springtime for Hitler because the first musical number, the opening musical number, is like very, very like pro Hitler.
Yeah. And I guess they think it's sincere, even though it does feature like a parade of women with like pretzels covering their tits and things like this.
Yeah. So people are upset. And then LSD as Hitler comes out and he's playing it like very like flamboyantly and like kind of like a hippie and like very off, like very weird. And then people start thinking that it's funny. So like the joke is that LSD thinks that he's playing it for real and everybody's laughing at it. Like, so like the show becomes an ironic hit, like a Neil Breen movie. Is that what happens? Or do people, or is LSD playing it as a joke intentionally and everybody thinks it's a comedy? Like kind of, like
no, I think
understand.
LSD is just being himself more or less in the role. You know, it seemed like he's improvising those lines. Those are not the written lines that, you know, the guy with the helmet wrote. And so, yeah, I mean, people are just kind of reacting to this weirdo guy that's doing his own thing.
Okay. Then that makes a little more sense. Like for whatever reason, I just like, I didn't have a grasp on kind of like why people turned the corner, or like what he was doing necessarily, but that makes sense.
I think, you know, if the implication is if they had hired a different actor, you know, maybe this would have been the failure that they wanted it to be, but they hired an actor so bad that he couldn't even stick to the script, and then it looped back around to the other side of then being amusing to people.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, that's funny then. Yeah. Yeah. If they would have hired someone to just play it straight, then everybody would have just kept on leaving. But I love the Springtime for Hitler number. Like I wish that this movie was more of that. And I mean, I guess there is a Broadway version of this, so maybe there is more of that out there in the world, but like I thought all that stuff was fun. Like the, you know, don't be dumb, be a smarty, come in and join the Nazi party stuff. Like all that stuff. And like like you said, like the ladies dancing with pretzels on their boobs and like, you know, the Nazis coming out wearing like sort of like, S&M gear and stuff like that, like the thigh high leather boots and stuff like that. All that stuff felt like I feel like we're pretty soon, like something like that will absolutely be the opening to the UFC on the White House lawn. like how prescient this movie is to what's happening now, or at least that sequence of the movie is just so wonderful. Like, I mean, just today, Donald Trump put out an AI picture of him as Jesus healing the sick.
Yeah.
Like we are living in a Mel Brooks movie at the moment. So like seeing that stuff, I think was like really wonderful. Like it just feels like it kind of barely feels like satire even. Like we're moments away from something like that happening.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I remember having that same reaction though when I first saw this of like, you know, this movie is kind of sold to you on the idea of Springtime for Hitler. Like, I think you know that before you know anything. And so you kind of wait through this movie waiting for the stage show to happen. And then when it does happen, it is only like a few minutes of the runtime. And I remember, being kind of like, oh, I wish there was more of the Springtime for Hitler stuff. That was the most fun. But I think it's in a sense, it's kind of like the shark in Jaws, where I think you have to be really careful with that stuff because the movie does hinge on it. And it's like, you'd probably rather have a perfect batting average there of like all of that stuff that is included is great versus risking any of it seeming kind of flimsy and then, you know, maybe tainting the entire experience. You know what I mean?
That's true. I mean, the first rule of show business is leave them wanting more, and I did want more. So
yeah. And I think you'll always have that memory of, you know, Springtime for Hitler that will maybe even grow bigger in your mind over time, you know, as you forget how little of it there actually is in this movie.
That's probably true. Yeah.
You'll fill in those blanks.
Yeah. But yeah, I also love like the two main guys are at the bar, sort of like having a drink and assuming that their plan came through, and then like people start piling into the bar, and like some of them are like singing Springtime for Hitler, and I think that that's so funny. There's
a great edit there where they cut from the people in the audience laughing, and then they cut to, you know, Max and Leo laughing at the bar, you know, thinking that the audience is not enjoying the show, but of course they are because we just saw them laughing. But that cut is like so perfect. I love that moment.
Yeah, all that part is fun. So I'm glad I watched this because I love Mel Brooks, and because it's very prescient. Maybe this will grow on me. I don't know. Maybe I just didn't like some of those smaller moments, some of those like little gags in there, like the actual like setup punchline jokey parts. But I love all the big strokes and I love it in general. But what do you think about it?
Yeah, I was also glad that we watched this week. As I mentioned, I think last week, I had recently seen the Mel Brooks documentary, which I thought was pretty good, despite the fact that it's overlong and does completely mishandle all of its 4:3 footage and reframe it to the wrong aspect ratio, which is always infuriating. But, it put me in the mood to rewatch this, a movie that I've loved for a long time. I think my dad recommended it to me. And yeah, it's just a funny premise, man, and you can, I think, sort of imagine Mel Brooks coming up with this premise as just something outrageous to tell his friends, or maybe to, have something to talk about on talk shows back in the 1960s. And it's such a perfect premise. And I'm glad that he came up with it because, it gifted us with what I think is maybe the best comic duo in cinema history. I just love Gene Wilder and Zero Mostel together in this. Zero Mostel is a guy that started out in vaudeville or like vaudeville type stage shows, and then, later would do some comedy roles on Broadway. But just as his film career was taken off, he got blacklisted from Hollywood for being too woke, in those anti-communist trials back then in those McCarthyism days. And guy didn't really work at all for a while in the 1950s and eventually found his way back in through Broadway. He would win Tony Awards for Best Actor in 1961, 63, and 65. So the guy was on top of his game here in 67 and had a lot of fire in him. And I like the fact that there is kind of a sort of like a parallel between the character and the actor here where, he had been through his own trials being on the outside of the industry. And you can certainly feel that in Max Bialystock as well. And then, then Gene Wilder is just great. I probably love that guy more deeply than almost any other actor. And maybe that's just a result of me being raised in a household, that had a copy of Willy Wonka taped off TV. But there's just, I don't know, there's something about him as a performer that is always so interesting. It could be maybe that he wanted to be more of a dramatic actor and was kind of pigeonholed into comedy because people just thought he was funny. But there's like a real commitment to the craft in his work where like, even when the dude is doing something very silly, he seems like fully committed to it. There's like never a sense of him as the actor winking through a bit, which is something that I think a lot of kids would do in a comedy movie today,
Yeah, for sure.
And, the pairing of these two guys is just one of those magic combos where you got these two opposing forces, two kind of opposite personalities that are, to me, so perfect in their roles that I think it's kind of wild that they ever tried to replicate this again on stage or on screen. Because at best, it's going to seem like a decent imitation of these two. But I personally would have like no place for like an actor to bring in something new to these roles, because why even bother? I feel like these guys just nailed it so perfectly. Like there's that one scene where Gene Wilder is afraid that Zero Mostel is going to jump on him. And so he's like panicking, like, don't jump on me, don't jump on me. And I don't know, man, I could watch that scene 100 times and I would probably laugh all 100. And I don't know, like moments like that made me think, like, if you're making a comedy, the priority really has got to be get funny people and put them in your movie. And I feel like sometimes that's lost these days. Like it seems like that should be so self-evident, but then you look at the comedies coming out and it's a lot of stuff like Anyone But You with Sydney Sweeney and Glenn Powell. And it's like,
no, it's a good movie. That's a funny movie.
Nothing against them, but I don't think they have the natural comedic talents of a Zero Mostel or a Gene Wilder.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I agree with that.
And I mean, couldn't we get somebody like a Nick Cage to play one or both of those roles? I think he would nail at least half of them, probably both.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I feel like that's how most comedies are made now, is you just get Nick Cage to do one of the roles.
I wish it would be that way. I don't think that's happening enough. I say he should be in all of them, or if there are other actors with his level of talent, let's get them as well. But I've yet to see.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, this is like you mentioned, it's Mel Brooks's debut film. I like the fact that he only ended up as director on this because they couldn't find anybody else willing to direct Springtime for Hitler. And, they didn't have any money to pay anybody to direct this anyways. So had this been like a bigger budget production, or had they been willing to maybe tone down the subversive nature of this, in either of those cases, I think we might have been robbed of a Mel Brooks directorial career, because, maybe he would have never been forced to become a director. So I guess in that sense, this is also another testament to independent filmmaking, low budget filmmaking. It gifted us this incredible career that we got from Mel Brooks. And this is a pretty well-directed movie. I mean, a lot of it is staged kind of like TV, which makes sense given Mel Brooks's background, with, like a lot of scenes with multiple characters all kind of posted up facing towards camera instead of like facing each other. Like there's that one dinner scene where it's Zero Mostel and an old lady and a violin player who's playing for them, and they're all at a restaurant. And for some inexplicable reason, rather than having the patrons of a restaurant face each other or the violin player face the people that he's playing to, all three of them face camera. But it allows Brooks to let the comedy play out in a medium shot. You can see these characters reacting to each other, which is really great when you've got the chemistry on the level of Gene Wilder and Zero Mostel. So instead of in a lot of movies today, like a lot of even comedies today, I feel like they'll just ruin the pace of the humor by cutting into close-up, cutting into a ton of coverage. Brooks doesn't really do that here. Like a lot of the scenes are just a single take from a medium shot, and I think that's really cool.
Yeah, it probably made it easier to adapt into a stage play too, because I mean it is sort of filmed very stagey, so it probably was just a no-brainer to make it a live show.
Yeah, absolutely. Which was to his benefit, because this didn't succeed necessarily on its own as a film. I think it did okay. I don't think it lost money, but it didn't really make a ton of money either. So, the fact that he was able to eventually get this on Broadway and bring more attention to it, and it certainly, I think, built a reputation over the years that it deserves. Because I love this movie. I think it is my favorite Mel Brooks movie. And if you want to talk sick wallpapers, the home of the play's director, Mr. Belvedere, the aforementioned Mr. Belvedere, is like a modern marvel of garish wallpapering. Each room is a different pattern. It's incredible stuff. So for that reason alone, I say definitely see the producers. And it's on Tubi right now if you're willing to get your flow interrupted with an extreme amount of ads. That's an option if you want to save $4. But if it is your first time, I would say pluck down the bones for an ad-free version of this, because man, I think the producers is well worth it.
That is a good point. Tubi used to be great with ads. When I first started watching Tubi, there'd be like an ad break at the beginning and an ad break at the end, and the ads would be like 2 minutes or something like that. And now every 10 minutes you're getting hit with like 7 ads, and it's getting pretty rough to be watching Tubi.
Yeah, it was good at first, like when I was watching this movie, in terms of, I think, like, 1 30-second ad to start, and then they gave me like a nice 20-minute chunk to get me invested or whatever, where they didn't really bother me. But then towards the end, it was like every 9 minutes we're going to run you 3 ads.
Yeah, they're getting a little too crazy over there. But But yeah, go watch The Producers, and then go watch the Curb Your Enthusiasm season where they do The Producers again.
Yeah. Oh, we should shout out William Hickey was the guy who was getting drunk with them at the bar.
Is that right?
Yeah, where they have that funny bit where they toast to failure, and he responds thinking that they're talking about him.
Yeah, yeah.
He says, thanks, buddy. That's William Hickey.
Oh, that's funny. Jennifer asked me if it was him, and I was like, no, that's not him.
That's him. He's got that distinctive voice, man.
Yeah. Well, I'm used to him being an old man.
Yeah. Although he looks pretty old in 67,
That's true. Yeah, I guess. I mean, he was like
that kind of Ernest Borgnine disease where he always looked old.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, he's probably like almost 50 or something in this movie, probably. So, yeah, I guess that makes sense. And that's almost 50 from a guy born in 1927 when they were smoking and going to war and stuff, which is a very different 50 from now.
Yeah, and if you saw the buttons that they had to press back then in William Hickey's day, man, these kids they wouldn't even know how to press those buttons.
Well, that's The Producers by Mel Brooks, a masterpiece, probably, at least a masterpiece director. So yeah,
I think you gotta rewatch this.
I liked it. I'm not trying to talk shit about it. I'm just saying I don't.
I think its legacy might loom a little bit larger than the impression you might get on a first view, but give it time. Now that you know kind of the shape of this thing, go back and really soak it in. Take in the chemistry between these two leads. That's what this movie's all about.
I will rewatch it. It sort of reminded me of my experience watching a million years ago for the show, Putney Swope, which is another sort of like subversive satire from around this time, where it's like, I was just like, I didn't think it was funny, but it was like clever and smart, and like amusing. Like, so I don't know, maybe I just feel that way about all satires from this time period or something, but I'll rewatch it at some point.
Okay.
I thought it was fun.
You don't have to worry that the next pick for the show will be from this time period.
Okay.
Because as we all know, my last film was from the year 1970. And I got to respect this 20-year gap, right?
Yeah, those are the new rules. And that's the only reason I'm here.
You're only here for the new rules?
Yeah.
I just came on the show for the new rules.
Okay. Check that one off the list. Drop has been played. So you would expect, based on our 20-year gap methodology, whatever pick I come up with has got to be either before the year 1950 or inclusive of 50 or the year 1990 or later.
Yep.
So I got a couple of picks. I'm just going to give you the years. Would you prefer a film from the year 1991? I know how you like the 90s. So maybe you might want to pick this movie from 1991. Who knows?
Okay.
Or a movie from the year 1930.
30.
All the way back to 1930.
Can I get a genre of film? Or is that too much to ask?
No.
Okay. Well, I think it would be ironic if the first movie we do like this is from the 90s, since you were like,
and I know that you love irony.
You were hating on the 90s last time. I think, yeah, after doing a movie from 1967, a 60-year-old movie, doing a 90-year-old movie a week later might be too much for my heart to take. So I think I have to go with the 90s.
Okay, so we will not be doing Madam Satan from 1930, directed by Cecil B. DeMille.
Okay, that sounds pretty cool, though.
Maybe someday we will. So keep it in mind, if I ever offer you the year 1930 in the future, it might be Madam Satan. A crazy movie that I think you got to see eventually. But instead, we will be doing Yumeji from 1991, directed by Seijun Suzuki.
Oh, wait, you were talking trash about us doing so many Japanese movies last week, too. And now we're doing is this a Japanese movie?
Well, there's no rule to prevent me from repeating that mistake, so how would I do it, exercise my own self-restraint? I doubt it. But
Okay.
yeah, this is Homeboy who did Tokyo Drifter and Branded to Kill and all those Yakuza movies.
How do you spell the name of this movie?
Yumeji. Yumeji. And this is a later film from Homeboy, and it's about a poet or something. And it's, I don't know. It's going to be surreal, as all of Seijun Suzuki's movies tend to be.
Have we done any Seijun Suzuki's? No, I haven't seen any of this guy's movies.
Did we never do, I thought we did Branded to Kill, maybe, or Tokyo Drifter, in the very early days?
If we did, it must have been an episode I wasn't on.
Well, or it could be pre-Letterboxd for you, right? You weren't using Letterboxd at the start of the show.
I was not, but I have logged... when I started using Letterboxd, I went back to all the junk food dinner movies and logged them as having been seen.
Okay. Actually, I'm looking right now. It looks like we have never done any Seijun Suzuki's, which is crazy to me. So, a seminal Japanese filmmaker who deserves our assessment, I would say.
Okay. All right.
And why not start that assessment with a lesser-known movie from very late in his career that satisfied my arbitrary date requirements?
Perfect. Judging from the Letterboxd banner photo, Ric Flair is in this movie, so that's exciting.
Okay. Excited about that. Didn't know that he had an appearance in this, but I look forward to it.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I'll watch this.
The film was screened in the Un Certain Regard section at the 1991 Cannes Film Festival. If you ask me, one of the best sections at the 91 Cannes Film Festival was the Un Certain Regard section.
Oh, yeah. That goes without saying.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that will be in 2 weeks, though, because next week, if memory serves, we're going to be visited by the ghost of Kevin. Because we're going to be watching...
No.
We're going to be watching Pin from 1988, Tickle Me with a Feather from 1965 on ES, and Diva in the Netherworld, 1980.
Tickle my dick with a feather.
Now, Diva in the Netherworld, that's... What country would you say that's from?
It might be from Japan.
Okay, just wondering. So that's what we're doing next week. Watch those.
I'm a fan of Japanese movies.
Watch those movies along with us for the next few weeks. That'll be fun. Kevin will be back. Send a voicemail 347-746-JUNK. That's 347-746-5865. Ask Kevin what his favorite food is. Get caught up to speed with that.
Because we're going to refuse to ask him that next week on the show.
Yeah, I'm not bringing it up.
No, I don't want to know. But if you want to know, go ahead and ask.
Yeah.
By the way, Diva in the Netherworld is streaming for free on a little website called YouTube.com. So if you're out there, if you listen to this show, if you like watching the things that we review, you can watch Diva in the Netherworld.
Okay. Yeah. Tickle Me is available to rent on all the major platforms, and Pin is not available anywhere. So steal it somehow.
Okay.
It's probably also on YouTube then. Go to the Patreon, patreon.com/junkfooddinner. And if you like what we do, and you like that we've been doing it for 73 years, and you want us to be able to retire, then you can donate a couple of dollars. We will be senior citizens soon enough, so we could really use that. And you also get like a shitload of bonus episodes if you do that. Send us an email if you want, jfdpodcast@gmail.com. Join us in the Discord. Find us in the music leagues. Maybe follow us on Instagram or something if you want. YouTube, go to youtube.com/junkfooddinner. Sean's uploading a whole lot of stuff, and you can see it. Watch it. It's not monetized, so
No, it never will be.
So yeah, that's a bummer. But
I
all
mean,
the more reason
you
to
can
go
all
to Patreon.
Yeah, but also rest easy knowing that, the hardworking folks at Google are getting all of the money that I should be earning.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and then they're just gonna use it to buy war, I assume.
Yeah, I guess what I'm saying, Bowman, is they're my T-shirts. I have the right to sell them.
Well, yeah. We should make some T-shirts one day, though.
Man, that'd be cool. A podcast
That's where the
with
money
T-shirts?
Yeah. A novel idea.
Yeah, it would be the first one.
So stay tuned for all that. Find out about this T-shirt we might get around to doing.
Yeah. Stay tuned for Kevin Moss as well, because as we all know,
he comes from Cincinnati.
Felt like it had been a while since I played that drop.
I like that one. All right. Well, I guess that's everything. We'll see you guys next week. Until then, this is Parker for Sean saying thanks for having fun.
No.
Otherwise, we can't podcast.
That's true. That's one of the main things that I've often said when people ask me my advice on how to podcast. That's what I tell them.
Yeah, it's one of the main skills that you've developed after all these years.
That's basically the only thing I do is push the record button. That's all.
Pushing them with the best, man. I've rarely seen you push the button.
It's probably happened once, at least.
Yeah, probably.
Especially in the olden days with Skype.
Well, the buttons were different back then. Those were tricky buttons back then.
Back then, you had your Skype, but then you had MP3 Skype Recorder, which is a totally different app that you use to record it. So you can't blame me for missing it a couple times. 2 apps? I'm supposed to use 2 different programs?
Man, these kids podcasting today, they've got no idea the buttons that we used to press.
That's true. All right.